So it is said, the citta is bound up with the objective world. The intellect's function is to speculate. And in the excellent state of imagelessness, there is the evolving of transcendental wisdom, or prajna. According to the false imagination, self-substance is, but from the point of view of relativity, or paratantra, it is not. Owing to perversion, what is discriminated is grasped as real. In the relativity, there is no discrimination. Multitudinous of differentiations is imagined as real by the ignorant, but being like Maya, they obtain not. Varieties of individual forms are discriminated as such, but they really do not obtain. To imagine individual forms is wrong. It puts one in bondage. They are born of mind, due to the false imagination of the ignorant. Based on the relativity, they are discriminated. The existence, thus subjected to discrimination, is no other than its relativity aspect. The false imagination is of various forms. Based on the relativity, discrimination is carried on. Conventional truth and ultimate truth. If there be a third, non-entity is its cause. The false imagination belongs to the conventional. When it is cut asunder, there is the realm of the wise. As to the yogins, there is one reality which reveals itself as multiplicity, and yet there is no multiplicity in it. So is the nature of the false imagination. As by the dim-eyed a variety of objects is seen and imagined, while the dimness itself is neither a form nor a no form, so is the relativity discriminated by the unknowing ones. As is pure gold, water free from dirt, the sky without a cloud, so is the mind pure when detached from the false imagination. Falsely imagined existence is not, but from the relativity point of view it is. Assertion and refutations are destroyed when one is freed from the imagination. If the relativity aspect of existence is, while the imagination is not, this means that there is a being apart from being, and that a being is born of a non-being. Depending on the false imagination, there obtains the relativity aspect of existence. From the conjunction of form and name, there arises false imagination. False imagination can never be perfect knowledge. It is not productive of anything else but itself. Then one knows what is meant by ultimate truth, whose self-nature is purity. There are 10 kinds of false imagination, and 6 kinds of relativity. In the knowledge of tathata, innerly attained, there is no differentiation. Truth consists in knowing the 5 dharmas and also the 3 svabhavas. When the yogin thus comprehends the truth, he does not transgress tathata. According to the form of relativity, there are those names that belong to false imagination, and the various aspects of false imagination arise from relativity. When well pondered with intelligence, there is neither relativity nor false imagination. Where perfect knowledge is, there is nothing dualistically existent. For how, with intelligence, can discrimination take place? Where perfect knowledge is, the existent cannot be qualified with being and non-being. In what cannot be qualified with being and non-being, how can there be these 2 svabhavas? Because of false imagination, the 2 svabhavas are established. Where there is false imagination, multitudinous of things is recognized, which, being purified, the spiritual condition of the wise obtains. Where there is false imagination, there is multitudinousness of objects, which are discriminated under the aspect of relativity. If otherwise discriminated, one becomes attached to the teachings of the philosophers. What is imagined, being subjected to further imagination, there are various views from which rises the doctrine of causal origination. When the dualistic discrimination is got rid of, there indeed is perfect knowledge.